It was a devastating year. It was a year the Vietnam War was at its height. Martin Luther King was assassinated and Robert Kennedy was assassinated. So it seemed a very, very bad time. And if I stand here as an optimist, it's because I survived that and we've survived a great number of other desperate things that have occurred since. And I do think the future holds amazing challenges, but a great number of extraordinary opportunities. 2,500 years, we've known that the only real constant is change. No question about that. I don't often quote Leon Trotsky, but he said this: I'm going to be interested in talking about the future, but the future will be very, very interested in talking to you. So we're talking about a conversation here that has to be held. This is not avoidable, it's not duckable, it's not fungible. It's a real conversation. Conversation I started in 1992 with two men really, Stephen Heppell and Ken Robinson. And I have to say that if Ken and Stephen and I had realised how very little impact and how very little change that we'd have achieved in the intervening 26 years, I think we would have, fair to say, been bitterly disappointed. We really would. Now, a few years earlier than that, the BBC did a fascinating programme about the attitude of young women to computers. Here's a very short extract from that programme.
What do people think about the micro-revolution? As an important career, maybe, to get involved in that kind of science?
I think that the computers are just a phase that people are going through, especially with the computer games. And, well, for work, it's good for storing information, but for games, I think it's just a phase people will go through and they'll get tired of it, as skateboards.
You play computer games?
No.
You have a computer?
No, I haven't.
Do you take computer studies?
No.
Is that out of choice?
Yes, I could take it in school, but I just haven't got an interest in it.
To get a job, you need to know how to use a computer, but it's the computers that are taking away other jobs. So it's just like a catch-22 situation, it's not really getting anywhere.
But might you not help yourself by being able to handle a computer?
It might help in the home, like, I don't know, because they say you'll be shopping using a computer later, but not at work, I don't think.
Not at work.
What intrigues me is, what are those women today telling their children? That it's skateboards, or it's a fad, or, well, don't worry darling, it won't help with the washing up. I'm not sure. What is certain is that at that time and afterwards, you need all of this equipment and more to actually be an informed, communicating person. Over at least, I estimated at least $10,000 worth. What actually happened in 2007 was this. Every single scrap of the previous slide is contained in that piece of equipment. So our world changed. I'm not sure how much we changed, but our world definitely changed. 2 years ago, I had the privilege of spending a morning in London looking after President Xi, showing him actually the cultural output of the UK and why it was a very important element of the way the UK was viewed in the world. And he was puzzled because he felt quite rightly that China had so much more, in a sense, to offer and yet was not seen as so culturally powerful. And he'd said this, I thought it was a remarkable expression: you cannot dress up other people's yesterdays as our own tomorrows. I think it's a lesson that we in the West in particular are struggling really to understand. China and the East generally do not see their futures as somehow paralleling our pasts, or even to an extent being all that influenced by our past. They are forging their own futures. And we in the West, I think, have got to adjust and understand this. Now, people have always tried to guess what the future might be like. In 1900, at the Paris Exposition, there was a competition to envisage what the life would be like in the year 2000. A lot of entries and some very, very interesting ideas came up. This was going to be EdTech. Not too bad with Skype, at least they envisage it. And Amazon. Now what I find fascinating is that in a sense the conceptual ideas are pretty strong, but they didn't think the clothes would change. So there's obviously been a slight disconnect between cultural change and inventiveness. It's something I think we've all got to take account of. What without doubt wasn't envisaged 100 years ago was this. that frankly, an average worker with average skills could not really enjoy an average lifestyle, because today, average is over. It's a very harsh remark made by journalist Tom Friedman in 2012. I think it's more true today than it was at the time he said it. And this is an enormous challenge for us as educators, a colossal challenge. Here's probably the most disturbing slide I will show you. The largest Gallup survey ever commissioned was in 2014, and it came up with this conclusion. Less than 12% of business leaders believe that the graduates they employ have the skills they need. How that's possible, I'm not actually quite sure. How that communication, or that failed communications occurred, I'm not sure. But this is a very, very serious issue, and I don't think it's one that's being sufficiently addressed. Because what it means is this. It means our young people are embarking on a journey without a map. And our job, as I see it, is to recreate and redraw a map that gives them sense of what the world might really be like. And that is, again, a huge challenge to all of us. I teach creativity, and by far my most tweeted slide is this one. I teach that creativity is a muscle. It isn't God-given, it doesn't come down from heaven. We all have elements of creativity within us, and it comprises all sorts of things: imagination, collaboration, tenacity, focus. But I also teach that at the end of the day, when everything else falls away, only one quality is fundamental: resilience. You can be as talented as you like, as gifted as you like, a genius, but without resilience, you are in every kind of trouble in the 21st century. And this, I find an interesting conversation. I also try to explain to them that creativity is not a talent. It's actually a way of operating. It's a way of seeing the world. It's a way of looking at problems. It's a way of developing a vision of your own future. And I tell them that the future is a vast, the uncreated is a vast, empty space. It is not the case that everything that is going to be done has been done. It is not the case that every invention that's going to be invented has been invented. Quite the opposite. The uncreated is this vast, empty space in which we're inviting them to take part. I have a friend I'm very privileged to have for many, many, many years, David Attenborough, Sir David Attenborough, who'll be familiar with probably all of you. In a recent poll, he came out, I think, top as possibly the most trusted man on earth. That's not bad. He's also 92 years old, and he's an extraordinarily honest person who constantly is moving forward. I and others were working with him on the whole area of virtual reality. This is what David's take was when we worked with the BBC at the Natural History Museum on the world of virtual reality.
Hold the World is an interactive virtual reality experience. Welcome to London's Natural History Museum. In these floors today, there is a special selection of objects ready for you to explore. Thank you very much. There we are. Wow! Boy, that is amazing. Heavens above. Gosh. Whoops. Look, it was going to hit me in the face, so I'm bound to put my hands up to defend myself. It is breathtakingly beautiful.
Now, if a 92-year-old man can embrace technology such as this, I think the future will not forgive us as educators if we fail to. Virtual reality, augmented reality, these technologies offer a phenomenal opportunity for young people. Because we're very, very good, I think, as educators, at teaching the how of things. But I've argued in the 20-odd years I've been going around the world talking about education, that we're not that great at explaining why. And if you can't explain why to young people, they eventually will struggle with how, because they need to make connections. And I believe these technologies allow us to make those kind of connections. And the result is that culture and technology, I believe to be the ultimate power couple. When we pull together culture and technology, quite remarkable results can be achieved. Because here we're talking about the world of ideas. and the way in which ideas are expressed. Also in 1968, a remarkable movie was made by one of my heroes, certainly, Stanley Kubrick. The film was 2001, and he took an idea and in just 2 minutes, which I'll show you, encapsulated something of extraordinary importance. That's the development of our most primitive ancestors through having the first idea or creativity into where we have basically reached. Now normally this is a much shorter clip, it's 2 minutes I have to tell you now. The reason I lengthened it is simply my little, if you like, my prayer, my hymn, my tribute to Vienna, and you'll see why.